Vivekananda Institute of Management Studies. As a part of our assignment, we have a need to interview an HR. So, as a part of this, we have a resource person, Rajesh, as a HR person from Solvers India. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for your kind consideration for the company. Please go ahead with your questions.
Okay. Sir, can you explain about your company?
Yes, as you already know, our company's name is Solvers India. We are major into recruitment processes and we hire candidates for the top Fortune 500 companies. So majorly, approximately 200 companies of the top Fortune 500 are our clients. We deal with IT, non-IT profiles plus BPO and non-BPO processes. So this is what we do as a company. This is as per the company.
Okay. As an HR manager, how will you drive results?
Okay. If you ask me in my part of my team, then it would be like we have a different set processes for we maintain with us. On these processes, we go ahead with the consideration and with the performance review of each one candidates. Once that is done, we will come to know how well they are performing at work. We'll do the evaluations on that bit of it.
What is your view about job elimination?
Job elimination is a stringent process which have to be considered as being an HR. If you see on the perspective of an HR and the perspective of a CEO or a company's head, we have to consider job elimination as to manage the cost. And there are different technologies now which is up, like Google Analytics and the manpower resource planning. So there are many processes which has come into existence wherein we don't need any more HRs to do the screenings and things like these. We have systems already which are coming in place wherein it will help us to evaluate things and take things ahead. On that basis, surely we would have to cut cost and manpower.
Okay, sir. Please, can you explain your company training and development process and how that the training and development process will help in your company?
Sure. In our company, when we have a new recruit, we have the two different criteria. One will be an experienced, another would be a fresher. If it's a fresher what we are hiring, what we do is we have a 15-year stringent process. What we do, on the basis of this process, we evaluate them, the work profile, what they're doing, the work which is being scheduled to them on a daily basis. What is their output on the basis of the process what we have? If that is met, it's nothing better than that. We will consider them for future days and we'll go ahead. If it has not been considered, then we will give them initial warning on perspective of the performance. If they do consider that and if they work ahead, nothing better than that. And if it doesn't happen, we have to let them go. We don't have any other option. If it's for the freshers, if it's an experienced person, they already have an experience, so we evaluate at the time of interview itself like what they have handled before in their experiences in different companies. Once that is done, we will come to know like what and how well they are equipped with, and after that we will evaluate in our process how well they fit into our process. If that is done, we'll go ahead with the consideration of the employment and we'll take things ahead. That's what the process is. So in short, what we say is initial days of 15 days will be given to each and every candidate. Once that is done, we have set evaluation process and the basis of the process and the performance what that is being delivered, we consider the employment.
Okay. Sir, in your company, have a lot of employees.
Yes.
As you are HR, how to deliver your negative feedback to employees?
To give a negative feedback, that is one of the most important tasks of an HR. Meaning that what we always consider is we gather the facts of the employee's performance on a daily basis. We show them the chart, what exactly they have done and what has to be done. Post that, we will give the initial warning to them, like what have you achieved till date. If that is the set standards are not met, then we will give them initial warning and a little process or steps how to overcome all these details. If that is done and the employee is considering all the processes that is to be done and he is taking initiative of clearing the drawbacks what he has, we are good to go with that things. So negative feedbacks are always given with facts and figures plus a positive note of how to overcome the negativity what they have. That's how we normally deliver our things.
You have a lot of experience with employees. As you are HR, please share your difficult experience you had with an employee.
Sure. Being my experience to say I have the worst situation which I have faced within companies as a being an HR would be the ethical behavior what has been followed at office premises, plus in the office work culture what has to be followed. Being in HR, what we have to maintain is the proper behavior at the workplace and the morale that is to be maintained always in and around the environment of the office. That was one of the problems which I faced, which would be not that good enough to be shared with. So that is what one of the experience what I have. So my consideration being a part of an expert HR would be the morale and the work culture what is to be followed in the office premises and in office.
So you have a lot of experience in this field. So can you tell me about the qualities, basic qualities for an HR?
Sure. The basic qualities of an HR would be first, he should be a good listener. That's the first initial quality. Second quality, he should be a good analyzer. Third quality would be that he should have a good knowledge on the aspects or the company norms and the company structure and the company's policies. These things are very important, and the process of the company and what exactly the products or services the company gets. That's only because he can explain others as well with aspects of things, what is to be done in and out of the company. These are the main things as an HR.
So in a situation, when you are recruiting an employee into your organization,
Okay.
but he is not apt to that work, how will you solve it? There has been some problems has been occurring to that person. How will you solve it?
Sure. The first thing what we do is in the recruitment process itself, we'll come to know if the person is a right fit or not. But in case if we have hired a wrong person, then it will be like we try to set him up with the route, with the process, what he has been recruited to. If we feel the person is not apt for that work, then we will try to move him across in the different domains what we have. If even though we find that the person is not the right fit, we will ask him in person, like we will have a normal discussion, wherein we will try to understand what the problem he or she is facing at work. If it's a personal problem what they are facing, then we will try to help them out with a few inputs what can be given with experienced people in their personal behavior or any personal commitments what they have. We'll give them ideas or try to help them out at work or at the personal issues what they have, just which we can intervene. If we have some set boundaries as well, if the boundary is above the boundary, the problem is above the boundaries, we will try not to test these spaces. And if something which is in a workplace, then we'll surely try to manage and maintain these things. That's only because the process has to be set in the right way. If we feel there is a problem that the employee is facing, that's because of his immediate manager or the next above him, then we have to make sure these things has been taken care of and the corrective measures will be taken to solve these problems.
Sir, in your organization, Solvers India, you are recruiting some of the individuals into your organization.
Yes.
What kind of question will be asked with you?
What kind of
Questions will be asked?
See, we in the company, we normally try to hire people who have got a proper attitude and good conduct. That's only because we normally deal with people like this. So we hire for MNCs and we place them for MNCs. So we would always consider a candidate who have a good quality attitude with morale and behavior. That's a good communication skills, and we can help them understand like what is our company process and what things are, so that they can take it forward and be a symbol of Solvers.
So as a last question,
Yeah.
you are the youngsters. Now you are going to develop a new career.
Sure.
So your suggestion for us? Suggestions.
That's really nice question. What I feel from our end. So what I want from you would be like you have to consider yourself first. You have to recognize yourself, like which part or which domain you are into. So we have different domains being in MBAs, and I believe you all know what domains are available already. I believe you are in HRs, if you are in systems, and if you are in marketing profiles. So you have to consider the area of your interest, because each and every bit has a long path to go. If you go as in HR itself, you have 4 different domains to take. It will be operations, it will be learning and development, it will be training, it will be a recruitment process. So there are different domains what we have to hire. Plus, you will also have payroll processing or compensation and benefits department as well in HR itself. So you have to choose which domain you are fit in. If you are going for HR, if you are going for marketing, you have many big aspects in marketing. It's branding, costing, and then you have got advertisements. There are many things which is come into picture as a marketing department. And systems, there are many things. It has softwares and hardwares wherein it goes to. So it's your interest what you are looking forward for, or your interest would be based on your skill sets what you have. So you have to consider your skill sets and interest first. Then you can choose your career path, like how to take it, and you can move along the career path on that perspective alone, wherein you can shine as a star. That would be my suggestion.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You
you
all
for
this
your
time.
valuable advice.
Thank you so much.